Switch us on. Here we go. And you guys ready for a countdown?
Yes.
Sure.
All right. Hold on.
We've been commanded to start the live stream, so we should probably start the live stream.
Making sure that the soundboard is like warmed up. God damn it. Like it took I'm sorry. Alright, it's a real delay from when I hit the key and when it plays the sounds. I don't know why that is right now. Anyways, okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to Game That Tune.
Oh, yeah, what's going on, everybody? It's Game That Tune back in the house once again. It's your boy, John Harrington here. We got John Regan with us. Say hey.
Hey.
And we got David Fleming. Say hey.
Hey.
And we've got Jesse Moore. Say hey.
Hey.
Oh, yeah, guys. It's another fantastic week here at Game That Tune. If you're just joining us for the first time, we're going to listen to some video game tunes. We've each got 3 songs from a game. We're going to try and guess the games based on the songs, a little bit of trivia. Going to goof off, have a lot of fun, talk a lot of nonsense. And the winner at the end of the night gets to pick a theme for the next episode and play some extra tunes. So let's see. Who was our winner last week? Oh, yeah. It was the fantastic David Fleming. And David, what is the theme for tonight's episode?
I wanted to go with a theme we've done before, but it's always fun to revisit: indie games.
Hell yeah. Games taking place in Indianapolis, Indiana. I think it's a fantastic theme.
John.
Oh, the other kind of indie games.
Let me stop you right there.
Games
it's not
starring
the city of Indianapolis. Anywhere in Indiana.
Oh,
right.
Guys,
games featuring our hat trick sound.
I thought you said Hindi games.
Ooh. Now that's going to be interesting.
Beyond Oasis might be one.
Yeah. Shit, man.
Aladdin, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know.
I love how we've used this theme before, but we still find new versions of this bit.
Yeah, it's misunderstanding the theme is our longest tenured bit. It's something we do, I'd say reasonably well. But yeah, indie games.
This isn't a bit for me, guys.
Yeah, who says it's a bit? Who's kidding?
I actually chose Beyond Oasis.
Yeah, exactly. I love indie games. The Bollywood games. They're fantastic.
Oh god, yeah. Bollywood Studio would be an excellent fucking game.
Yes, it would. But anyway, we got independent games developed and published outside the studio system. I think we got a pretty great show coming up tonight. Because if you guys are like me, then I think we've got some games with really fantastic soundtracks that maybe there's not a whole lot to say about them. So I think we're going to have some nice long songs and some nice short discussions about some pretty fantastic games. So, unless Johnny's got some other misunderstanding of the theme that he needs to get out of the way before we start, I think it's time to jump into game 1.
Game 1.
Now, what's the theme?
All right, so this game's developer showed an early unplayable version of this game at the March 2010 Game Developers Conference to little acclaim. John looks to the rest of the guys on Game That Tune to see if maybe they have the answers.
That's good, John. That's pretty good.
Is that like a clue or something?
John does not want to reveal anything just yet. So we have from David, not Bastion. We have from second, we have some Jesse and John, Bastion, which John will let them know that is the correct answer. John's soundboard is delayed for some reason. He knows not why.
Oh, man, I really hope you're going to narrate the rest of the show in that weird third person.
Please.
Oh. This is good. This is very good.
The kid finds himself hesitant to make promises.
Yes, fuck.
Johnny finds himself reticent to commit to such an elaborate bit. So Bastion, has John played Bastion at some point in the past?
The kid bought
Which,
the Bastion
yeah.
in a humble bundle a few years ago and has played it a little bit.
I think you can speak as yourself, but then still narrate other parts of the show, John. You don't have to do the whole thing. But I mean, yeah, you do you. It's all right.
It's an enjoyable game. It's very much like Diablo, but God, I
But-
can't do it.
It was worth a shot, man. So yeah, it's like watercolor Diablo, right?
Yeah, it's similar. Like I got the same sort of feeling that Diablo evoked for me. Like when I first played Diablo, I got a feeling sort of like wonder and wanting to explore and things like that. It definitely right off the bat.
I wondered about the devil.
And the second you start playing Bastion, you're presented with the story, which is that this event called the Calamity happened. You have no idea what it actually was, but the world's been fucked up. And for some reason, I guess it's just because of the voice that's narrating, like it really evokes a sense of like, I gotta find out what the fuck happened here. Because you guys know me, I give so little shit about stories in most games anymore. I'm just like, no,
Right.
just I don't know. I just want to have some blocks fall or notes fly at me or something like that. That's all I want.
Yeah, you want to slash them up, you know?
Yeah. This was a game where I was like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, no, okay, I want to see what this is about. This is interesting. I'm hooked.
Now the question was, did you stay hooked? Did you finish that shit?
I did not.
Of course not. Because I think I've never played Bastion, but a couple of friends of mine had, and from what I understand, it gets just a little repetitive, as do most of these like kind of indie isometric slash 'em up kind of games. Like you get a couple of weapons, you swap the weapons a lot, you level the weapons up. There's enemies, but this one, I think it stood out because of its fantastic art style, which is really cool looking, and like the way the world moves around you, like you're walking between areas and the platforms just like form under your feet.
Yeah.
And then that fucking narrator. It's like I was gonna say like Sam Elliott, but it's not. It's like it's smoother than Sam Elliott. Sam Elliott's a little too cowboy for that game. But it's so weird having somebody just like persistently and like dynamically narrate the game that you're playing.
Oh, it's so good. I love it. I love the narration.
Yeah, because like it'll narrate it even if you're like not progressing in the story. Like, John took some time to fuck around and smash open a couple of crates. It's like, yeah, okay. It's like, I wonder if like if you just wait around long enough, it's like, this story really. I'm telling you, it picks up here in a minute. He gets moving again to the northeast. The northeast is where you go. But it's a cool feature and interesting presentation. But I never actually put my hands on it. I feel like I should though, because I think this just came out for Switch.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, I think it came out like in December for Switch, and it's like perfect for Switch. Like this kind of game, you just want to, have in that little handheld while you're like, see it. I always think when somebody says something's perfect for Switch, for some reason I think you want to have it in the little handheld form so you can play it while you're also watching something on TV. And I don't think that's necessarily this, because this game's got fantastic fucking music and it's got that persistent narration. So it's not the kind of thing you just want to tune out.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like most games are perfect for Switch because perfect for Switch basically boils down to I want to play it on a TV, but also I want to play it anywhere. Like,
Yeah.
and that's basically every video game ever.
Right, exactly. So
He has a point.
He's right. I mean, that's why this whole perfect for Switch thing, it's like, shouldn't. I'm trying to think of a game that wouldn't be perfect for Switch.
Like, oh, it's perfect for Switch. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, it's a good system. But yeah, John. So tell us more about Bastion. Developed by Prolific Studio, I assume.
Super Giant
big
Games.
time. Super Giant.
Super Giant.
Cool. And they've done a ton of things, I assume. They're Super Giant. That's the name of the game.
Yeah, they're still around.
Yeah.
And
Good.
the soundtrack was composed by Darren Korb. And I do think this soundtrack is fantastic because it kind of mixes like it sounds a little Western, but it's still got kind of like repetitive beats of more like it's got the heavy drums of what you expect when you're watching some kind of fantasy epic movie, right? Like watching Game of Thrones, there's always like somebody on a bunch of drums getting ready for war kind of shit going on. And like that's what's going on
war
here.
drums are great.
But there's a little bit of cowboy going on too. It's kind of cool.
Cowboys with war drums.
Like,
now we're talking.
Yeah, like Clint Eastwood riding dragons, right? That's kind of what I'm picturing.
That is everything I've
anything
ever
like that
in a
in the
video game.
No, there's no Clint Eastwood versus John Wayne on dragons, although that would be amazing.
I mean, there was a time when that would have been amazing. I'm glad. Yeah, I personally have canceled Clint Eastwood.
I don't know, 90-year-old Clint Eastwood riding on a dragon.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I was just imagining
back in 2011. He wasn't quite canceled.
John Wayne on a dragon, like the way that dragon bucks and weaves against the air current. Like, no wonder he walked that way.
Yeah. All right, partner, we're gonna circle the wall. What? Oh, this new season of Game of Thrones is gonna be stupid.
No, 90-year-old Clint Eastwood smuggling drugs over the border with a dragon. That's what I want to see.
Oh God, no! See, it was 2011. So what would that be like? His Gran Torino days, or like?
I think so. Yeah.
Get off my lawn. Yeah, with the dragon. Yeah, fuck you, old man. I've got a dragon. Okay, we don't want no trouble. Yeah. The kids left the lawn immediately, not looking for trouble.
Now, at one point, where the dragon get into an argument with an empty chair.
Ooh, yeah. See, that's the real part of the game where the game's story really kicks in. Is when you have to argue in an empty chair.
No, see, that's part of the story. Is all of a sudden you cut to like Clint Eastwood talking about mounting his mighty steed, and it's just a saddle in a chair, and you're left wondering if the dragon is actually real or if it's all just a figment of Clint Eastwood's imagination.
So it's like Pete's Dragon.
Pete's Dragon starring Clint Eastwood.
That's Bastion, all right. That's
Box
it, all
quote.
right.
Ship it.
Yeah, it's so it's not that at all, is it?
Are there any dragons in Bastion?
Right, that's my question. Is there any dragon even in the game? Like,
I don't think so.
Yeah.
So the overall plot
John.
is that it's got kind of a, in the time machine, you had the people that lived underground and the people that lived above ground. They were at war. It's got that kind of thing going on as a backdrop. And it turns out the Bastion, which is the thing you have to restore to maybe undo the calamity, that's what you're trying to do, may have been a weapon to fuck up the underground people. It's one of those games where you get some choices, like some hard choices you got to make at a few points of the games. Like, oh, here's this dude that, like, he's kind of your enemy, but, you can save him anyways, or you can say, fuck him, And the right
wow, that
choice
sounds like a hard choice, John.
Yeah, fuck him.
I was going to say, John, what did you choose?
Yeah.
I didn't get that far.
Yeah, you really,
Kid decided to fuck him.
The choice was dripping in pathos. John really hit home the importance and the emotionality of the story in deciding whether or not to fuck that other character.
I'm just amazed that we were able to get Sam Elliott for the show.
Why, thank you. I wasn't trying to do Sam Elliott. I was trying specifically not to do Sam Elliott, but hey, here we are. Yes, Academy Award nominee Sam Elliott will be joining us for the remainder of the show. It's about damn time. Yeah, dude, this game, it's cool. It looks cool. It looks cool. It sounds cool. I assume it plays okay.
I'm having a good
Slash 'em
time beating everybody up. I'm definitely gonna give this reinstall and play it again.
Yeah, I might have to check it out on Switch. Like, it sounds like one of those things. If they're not trying to charge me a premium price for a Chex Watch 8-year-old game at this point, I'd pay. Because I think it got like great reviews back in the day. Like, I think it was kind of universally like, yeah, this game's dope. So, is $10 reasonable for a really fucking good 8-year-old game? Yeah, probably. Yeah, we'll see. I'll have to check out that eShop and see what they want for it. Because I feel like this was all. That's why this one got so popular. It was like not around the inception of like downloadable games, but it was one of those like things that kind of like started legitimizing like downloadable games and indie titles. It's like, oh yeah, this we don't need a disc for this. Everybody can download this, and this game's fucking great. Like, so I don't know. I might be talking out of my ass. John realized he might have been talking out of his ass when he was making that last point, and that he had not much left to say about Bastion. So he asked John if there was anything else he had to say about Bastion before moving on to
It's an
game
issue of
2.
perspective, because for me, downloadable games are always legitimate, because I feel like on PC they'd been legitimate for a long fucking time. But from the console perspective, downloadable games were not very legitimate until
John made the jerk off motion with his hands as John started talking about the PC Master Race.
Game 2.
Okay, cool. Thanks. All right. So, this game was developed as part of its company's first internal game jam. And in the year that it was released, it was one of 2 games that featured the same fantastic composer. I really enjoyed this theme, man. I'm so glad I got something that really tied into the Indiana Jones series in such an important way. So
Wait,
how you
what?
guys feeling?
So good, obviously.
Good. Johnny has drawn, I assume it's a picture of Indiana Jones holding a whip.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, John, that's a really depressing drawing. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
David
shit.
says a hat in time, which is unfortunately incorrect. Jesse has the correct answer. It's Snake Pass. Hell yeah, guys. Man, yeah, so Indiana Jones game about snakes. It made sense.
Why did it have to be about snakes?
Exactly. You know, Snake Pass. Why did it have to be Snake Pass? Is probably what the guys at Sumo Digital were asking themselves when they were finishing up Snake Pass and getting ready to release it. It's like, wait a minute. Why did we make this?
Oh, no wonder. Okay. I just looked up who the composer to Snake Pass was. Like, that's why it sounds so familiar. Okay.
So Snake Pass is a weird game for Nintendo Switch and other systems. I assume it's on several different things. You play as a snake named Noodle.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, right. No, you think that, based on the name, you just got to pass by some snakes. No. You are the snake, and you have to go through the Snake Pass. So yeah, you're playing as a snake named Noodle, and there is no, from the time that I've played, real urgent objective to the game. Like, you're a snake, and you have to crawl and collect some stuff, and you have to slither around some poles to collect some other stuff and solve some puzzles using your snake slithering skills. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So it reeks of game jam. Hey guys, let's just brainstorm on some stuff. It's like, I've been working on this little demo here. Call it Snake. Is that just the phone game from your Nokia there? No. It's a different Snake game. You play as a snake in 3D. What if Snake from the phone, but wait for it, 3D.
But we don't own that character. There's not a Konami character.
Yeah. How about a game featuring Snake? Oh no, that the rights acquisition would be too crazy. Just make it a snake.
Solid Snake Pass. No.
Yeah. So it's a really laid back game. You're crawling around as a snake. Like, you have to if you hold down the right trigger button to go forward, and you move around the left stick, and you don't move very fast. It tells you at the tutorial level, you have to slither back and forth with the stick to fucking gain speed. I'm like, oh man, this is going to be one of those games. It's going to be a really weird fucking 3D snake controlling game. Okay, I see how it is. And then there's buttons to lift the head so that you can slither up poles, or lower your head so you can swim down into things.
I've heard actually a pretty cool game.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. It's got this laid back vibe. There's no I didn't get to a part where there were enemies or anything. I think the whole challenge comes from, and I think it's on purpose, the confusing ass controlling of a snake. Because there's a gravity and physics system in play where if you're not coiling your way around the sticks right, there are parts where there's no ground and you'll fall and you have to restart the area, that kind of thing. And it's this better be a short game, because I was playing it a little bit this week in the lead up to this, and I'm I don't know how much more of this I got in the tank. Just fucking frustrating 3D snake slithering game. It's cute. The levels are nice. It's got the jungle-ish setting, and the soundtrack is just fantastic and just suits the game perfectly. And I feel like this is where most of their development money probably went, or they had a favor that they could redeem from legendary video game music composer David Wise.
Really?
Yeah, he just whipped his sticker brush symphony all over Snake Pass, and it's just a delightful soundtrack.
They had $50,000 in budget, and $40,000 went to paying David Weiss to do a soundtrack.
Exactly, and the rest went to snake licensing rights, and then they didn't even use that snake. But yeah, it's I haven't gotten very far in the game, but even in just the first few levels, I'm yeah, these obstacles, these are oh man, fuck this. It's just so tricky, and it's again, the challenge of the game is mastering the fucking controls, because it's mastering the controls also in combination with the camera, because the way the snake's head moves, it's dependent on where the camera is. If you press down on the joystick, the snake's head always moves towards the camera, and up moves it away. So it's a game of slithering and coiling and camera manipulation and the correct button pressing. It's it's got to be this crazy because again, there's nothing else going on. It's like a nice looking terrarium that you're playing in, and the only thing it has going for it is confusing controls and a David Wise soundtrack.
It's cool though, a very intense version of a laid back afternoon.
Right, that's the thing. Like, it doesn't have to be too challenging because, some you have to get 3 keystones to unlock the next level or whatever, and they're not super challenging to get. But then each level also has 5 challenge coins in it, and it's got a bunch of little blue orbs that are I think they're left over from the original version of the game. You collect them, and it's just kind of for completionist's sake. It doesn't do anything. But I was reading about it, and in the initial version, they were like, okay, so the snake should get bigger as you collect more things. And then they scrapped that completely because it just made development way too complicated. I'm like, that's kind of funny. This fucking crazy long snake thing, it works on a Nokia, but man, it's really presenting challenges for this physics engine. No, we're not doing that. So it's cool. It was on sale on the Switch eShop this week, and I knew it had a David Wise soundtrack, which was why I bought it, played it, listened to it, and it's on the show tonight. This game, your mileage may vary, but for me, I think I'm going to knock this one out. I got it for I think it was $8. It's this game's worth $8. So, charming snake game with a David Wise soundtrack, and I don't know, man. I like a bright, colorful game with no even semblance of enemies or conflict. The snake's conflict is with the rock before him and the stick.
If you smell what the rock is cooking.
Yes, exactly. Do you smell what Snake Pass is cooking? Because it's delightful snake-based puzzling.
You mean a literal rock or Dwayne Johnson? Because I would play a game about a snake trying to fight Dwayne Johnson.
Jake the Snake?
See, David doesn't know who that is. But
I'm aware of Jake the Snake.
That's what I call my penis.
Wrestler, yes.
Jake the Snake Wrestler. No, I would like that new Hobbs and Shaw movie if there were giant snakes involved. That would be pretty cool. You spin off the Fast and the Furious, you add some snakes. It's not really Fast and Furious anymore. It's
the Fast and the
slow
Sliverous.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the show on a very brief tangent because I watched that trailer for Hobbs and Shaw. It's wait, this is a Fast and the Furious movie, right? Why is there a cyborg as the villain? When did these movies stop being about car racing and go completely into ridiculousness?
They were never about car racing.
4 movies ago.
Okay.
Yeah, no, my problem isn't necessarily with the addition of a cybernetically enhanced Idris Elba to the series. My problem is that it's a series about family. And, to make a fucking side story with those 2 chuckleheads, it's okay, no. Fuck this. Frankly, the series should have ended after one of the main family members died, but that's beside the point. The series is going to keep going. It makes too much money. But no, you don't make a side story without the family. It's a series about family. Come on, man. And whatever. I don't want to get off on the family fucking Fast and Furious tangent, but Jason Statham was too bad of a guy to be redeemed. He shouldn't be part of the crew. He killed one of the family members. Anyway,
possible episode title: Fast and the Furious Family Tangent.
I feel like you may have listened to a podcast that I listened to this week.
I might listen to that podcast, but I had those opinions before I listened to that podcast. The podcast just confirmed the opinions. It's oh, good. These guys are like me. They know this fucking movie series is about family too. Anyway, Snake Pass is not like the Fast and the Furious. It really is the polar opposite. At no point do you steal any DVD players. You don't there's no street racing. I think there is ultimately a time trial mode, but even then, I don't think it's very fast. I think it's just still slow snake action and delicious David Wise tunes. So, yeah, man, it's pretty good. I don't know yet if I recommend it. I think I'm going to finish it before I tell you guys to buy it. Because, if you don't like difficult to control, weird indie games, then you're not going to like this game at all. So,
That's
we'll
fair.
see, man. But in the meantime, let's rappel down the side of the building like Hobbs and Shaw in that fucking awful trailer. And, we'll just we'll keep going to the next game.
Game 3.
Alright, so the concept for this game came out after prototyping several ideas by the developers. According to the creative director, they came to the theme of, quote, what happens when you face defeat and have to come back from it the next day, look your friends in the face, look yourself in the mirror, and deal with the consequences of the decisions you've made.
Well, Johnny, it sounds like your game.
All right. Who's got answers for me? All right. So David says Untitled Goose Game, which is a very good guess, but incorrect. Jesse says Spelunky, which is incorrect. And John says Pyre Festival, which is correct. No, the game's just Pyre.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything about Pyre. Let's talk about Fire Festival and how fucking crazy that was.
No, I shouldn't have gotten us off on that tangent so quickly.
No, so this is...
I thought you were going to say, like, let's talk about Untitled Goose Game, because I am all ready to discuss Untitled Goose Game.
Untitled Goose
David's
Game
pick
looks
Is
great.
that on Switch?
It's supposed to be coming out. I don't think it's out just yet, but I can't wait for it to come out.
He plays an angry goose and fuck with an angry groundskeeper.
In Pyre?
No, in
Untitled Goose Game.
So Pyre is another game from developer Supergiant Games. We're having 2 Supergiant Games on tonight's show.
Fantastic.
Also with a soundtrack by Darren Korb.
Oh, wow. Really corbed it up. Yeah, no, that's good, man.
And this is our fan request from Dire Crow on our Discord.
Oh.
Is that where it came from?
Funny.
I thought that's where it came from.
Apparently it came from the Discord, as well as somebody requested it like ages ago and nobody touched it. So it's in the queue, but somebody recently requested it in the Discord, Dire Crow.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, I was going to credit it to Emily Colvin from Facebook. That's whose name is next to it in the queue, but it's all good. It's
all get
Pyre
credit.
one way or another. Man, what a game that we all know what it is, right? And with that title, it tells you everything you need to know, right?
So it's
like Bastion.
I tried watching some. So first, I tried reading the description on Wikipedia, and that just left me more confused than before I started reading. Because the description on Wikipedia is like, the story is told through on-screen narrative passages that include a hyperlink type system. I'm like links on web pages, hyperlinks?
No, the game just has fucking anime, like Fire Emblem-esque, like back and forth dialogue scenes, and you get to choose like branching dialogue paths. That's all it is. Like it's just interactions between characters that sometimes the way things are worded on Wikipedia is really fucking unnecessary.
Because then hyperlink itself was a link, and I click it, and it's like, hyperlink, like link on a web page. I'm like, what the fuck is this
tell
game?
you what a hyperlink is. No, from what I understand, this is like a weird, it's like a kind of sports, like arena battle game, but it also has like a good story in between. Like it's an arena sports game with anime character cutscenes that apparently are pretty good. That's pretty much what I know about it. And it's called Pyre, and it's got a great soundtrack, and it's from Supergiant Games.
Watching some video, it looks pretty sweet, to be honest with you.
Yeah. No, it's I think it's taking some inspiration from their other games, like Bastion. You got a little slashy action, you got a couple of weapons. This one you probably get a bunch of customizable characters and using different abilities, but it's in more of a sports arena setting. We really should research these things before we bring them on the show, not just play them because they have delicious soundtracks from the illustrious Darren Korb. But yeah, so Fire Festival, though, what a couple of documentaries. You know what they should make? Is a couple of documentaries about this game to explain what the fuck it is. I
thought you were going to say what they should make is Fire Emblem Festival.
That's also a good idea.
I think isn't that just called like Smash Brothers? I feel like that's what that is.
At this point, yeah, it's kind of like that. They're really crowding the other characters out. But yeah, man, I'd suck a dick if it fucking told me exactly what this game was and we could have a really good discussion about it. No, that's a Fire Festival joke.
I was like, geez, I could just go look at Wikipedia and
John's taking one for the team.
I don't know, we gotta watch.
John, you should take one for the team because nobody knows what the hell this game is. But apparently it's very good. Yeah. I was on the verge of actually using this game, so I was, I was like listening to tunes and watching a couple of videos of it.
I love how you're talking about like we really need to research these games before we bring them on the show. I'm almost used this game, still couldn't tell you fuck about it.
Pretty much, like like if you look at a couple of YouTube reviews about it, it's just like fucking garbled up review speak, and then like clips of colorful fucking burst effects going on. I'm like, I'm sure this is good. Like,
it's got great reviews.
Scores. Yeah, people seem to like it.
Yeah, Metacritic gave it 85 out of 100. That's solid.
Yeah, exactly.
Game that tune Fox quote. I'm sure it's good.
It needs to be on Switch. Fuck, it looks neat.
It really does. One thing I heard though, one criticism that people have of the game, the multiplayer's local only. You can't go and like play online against people, which seems like a very odd decision for anything not released by Nintendo.
Yeah.
I didn't know other companies still made local only multiplayer games.
Yeah, the developers were apparently unsure if they would be able to finish the online portion of it in time to launch it.
Yeah.
So
Well, the developers are a stupid company, and they've never successfully made any good games.
You heard it here first.
It's
I don't
just
get it.
right-click, add online.
I'm just saying, put a little BattleNet in the mix, man. It's nothing to it.
Right-click properties, click the checkbox next to enable online play. You're done.
Yeah. Internet options. Yes.
Yes.
Apply. Like it's done.
They forgot to click apply. That's where they fucked up.
That's what it was. They didn't apply the changes.
As they were exporting the game, there was the little message box that popped up. This game does not have online play. Would you like to enable that? And they're just like, whatever, skip.
Yeah, exactly. They thought it was asking them to restart their computer to install updates, and so they just like postponed it, and then they launched the game anyway. It's like, oh fuck!
How many times have I told you guys you always got to read the pop-up boxes, David?
Yeah, super giant games, more like stupid giant games. Burn on this great company. Take that, you fucking wonderful company that makes games people love.
Take that, successful indie developer of multiple games.
Yeah. Should have fucking didn't want to add a couple of weeks onto your development time, add some online to your delightful ass game. All right, fine. You got a confidence problem. I get it. No, this game looks cool. I would be interested in playing it because I like silly, sporty games. I've been playing, just fuckloads of Rocket League over the last several years. So you give me a, kind of sports arena game, and I'm gonna play it. And then you add in, anime cutscenes apparently, and yeah, sure, fuck it. Like, imagine Rocket League if there were anime cutscenes after every online match. That'd be dope. You create your own little avatar.
In the match, like after you score a league, there's just that little cutout of like the eyes coming in, like.
Yeah, dude, that would actually be a really nice touch.
It's got me thinking about like Rocket League, but with big anime titties. I would love that. I would love that so much.
What would have the titties? The cars?
The cars. They're just like bobbing on top of the car.
The car, the goal, the ball, the arena, everything.
No, see, that's what it is. Instead of the Rocket League ball, it's just a single anime titty.
John knew that he had made a really unfortunate reference, and he scrambled for a way to keep the show on track by bringing back a bit from a previous game.
Thank Christ.
I'm still imagining like the anime eye cutscene.
Damn it, David!
Game 4!
Game 4.
this game, aside from the voice acting, the soundtrack, and parts of the story, is designed and programmed entirely by one person who stated at Penny Arcade Expo 2013, quote, "I originally wanted to make it a film, but then I thought, let's make something easier, like a video game." Who's got some answers / guesses / drawings of penises or anime titties?
Oh, don't
penises,
spoil it.
please. Those are so last 142 episodes of Game That Tune.
All right, so John Regan has a drawing of a stick figure with titties, which I presume are anime titties, but not quite. Jesse Moore says Undertale with a drawing of anime titties, and John Harrington says Kiro Blaster. No one is correct. This is Dust, an Elysian Tale. Right, I forgot. Nobody got it correct, so I imagine like there was a sound effect to fill that gap.
What?
That works.
Is that the Fox game?
I'm not sure what Dust is, but it is some kind of anthropomorphic animal.
Okay. I was going to say, it's like dead skin cells, man. It's all over the place.
I'm not sure if he's a fox. He might be a rabbit. It's hard to tell because he has one of those like giant cone-shaped hats that cover most of his face. Anyhow,
cool.
This game is really fucking cool, and the whole reason that I chose this was for an excuse to talk about this game. This game is actually awesome. It's a Metroidvania style game, but instead of being like a shooting puzzle-based type, it's straight up like hack and slash action, but combined with that like platforming exploration. And it's set in this weird fantasy world and everything. And the combat in this game is really well done and really stellar. It's that sort of like combo based. You can parry your attacks. You've got multiple different combos to use. My personal favorite, I think it's light attack and then heavy attack, kind of knocks them in the air and then you jump up for a follow up. And then it's light, heavy, heavy. And you kind of hook your sword around them and then slam them into the ground. And it's an incredibly satisfying attack to use.
Cool.
Nice.
So you say you don't know what animal the main character is?
So the entire game, it's a like an anthropomorphic, that style, like cartoony animal type.
Right.
I'm not sure specifically what he is, because also part of like the story of this game is the fact that the main character, whose name is Dust, has amnesia. So you're trying to like relearn your past and everything. But I'm not. Yeah, like it's hard if you look at a picture. Like most of him is shrouded in mystery, so it's hard to tell. You basically have like that much of the ears, so he looks like a fox. He could possibly be a rabbit.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was like looking at it. It's like it's a fucking animal with a Raiden hat covering his or her, face, except it's got ears sticking through it, so you still know it's an animal. And then it's got like a cool sword and a cape and stuff. And it's like, oh. Yeah, shit, I have no idea what that is. Like, I thought I was going to look at it and be like, David, you idiot. It's like a comet. Nope, there's nothing to glean from this.
How could you not tell that it's a...
Yeah. All of the, if you Google image search this, all the images are of like a weird orange cat thing that I think if I go much further than this, it's going to get sexual.
That would be Fidget, your companion.
Yeah, it looks like a cat bat or something.
So the story of the game is centered around like there's three main characters. There's Dust, who's the main hero who doesn't have his memories. There's Fidget, who's like a spirit fairy helper thing, and then the sword is living. So you find this magic sword, and Fidget is like the guardian spirit of the sword, and that gets to kind of one of the weird things about this game is like the introductory tutorial sections. The sword kind of says like, oh yes, Dust, you're a skilled combatant. You can wield my power. Press this button to accomplish this. Like,
yeah.
and I feel like
if you're a skilled combatant, you should be able to breeze through this tutorial, right?
God.
And I feel like indie games, especially the ones who are made by like one or two people, like they either go the route of let's handhold you and teach you exactly what you have to do, or fuck it, figure it out yourself. Right. And this game kind of goes to like, okay, let's stop everything, have a nice little scene, explain to you how to play the game, and then, okay, now you can play the game.
And so this game was developed by one person? Like,
yeah.
This, because I'm looking at it, and is it very nicely animated? Like, it looks really nice.
Yeah.
This game is gorgeously animated.
The fuck, man?
Is it on Switch?
It is. It was originally on like Xbox Live Arcade, and then they ported it to PC, and it recently got ported to Switch, which is where I picked it up. And yeah, the game, it's really fun. Like it's got that Metroidvania exploration, but the combat is super satisfying to go through. And I think the weirdest thing is like the guy, let me look up his name real quick, because I want to give him, all the proper credit in the world.
While you're looking that up, I'm looking at pictures of Fidget, and I guarantee you somebody's wanted to have sex with that thing.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing. I mean, if I went further down the Google image search hole, it's, only a matter of time. I keep my safe search off, sir. And, oh boy.
So Dean Dodrell, he created this game. And like I said, he originally intended to make like an animated movie about this and then said, fuck it, I'm going to make a game. Which I think is really weird because like the weakest part of this game is the story. So
That's funny.
I don't know how this would have worked as a movie. Like it's not bad, and it's fully voice acted, and the voice cast does a really good job of it, but it's also like it's a fantasy world, and the main character is amnesiac, and then he goes to this village and kind of recognizes people, and maybe there's something bigger going on. Like it's nothing new. Like it's not the best story in the world, but damn, is it fun to play.
In what way is a game easier to make than an animated film? Like,
right?
It's I don't know. I feel like animated film. You don't have to. You can animate some things and make some things happen on screen, and nobody has to be able to control them with a controller. It's just something that people can watch. So if you're just one guy drawing a bunch of stuff, seems like animated film would be easier to make than animated video game. Just spitballing here.
Here's the difference.
What's interesting is, hang on,
I don't want to hear the real difference.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I do want to stress this point. While looking up trivia, apparently Dean Dodrell, he had like very, very little coding experience whatsoever, and he was only like an animator. And as he was programming like the voices and the character portraits and like the cutscenes, there was a bug that crashed the game. So he like broke down and started crying about, God, how am I going to fix this? I don't know what I'm doing. And then was able to make it work. Like, I don't understand how an animator thought, I'll make a video game that'll be easier when he didn't know how to code.
So I can speak from experience. That breaking down, crying, and being like, oh God, what am I doing? How am I going to make this work? That's just called being a programmer. That happens to me probably once a month minimum.
I was going to say, that's happened to you, and it's only been about GTT radio, which is something of literal unimportance. So.
And I will say, like, in programming GTT radio, even with the simplest gifts, I have to think about, like, how to make things go and where they should go and blah, blah, blah. When you make a video game, the player decides where they go. The player gets to control that for you. You don't have to script that shit out ahead of time. Like, no player, you make it happen.
Yeah, for those listening to us both live and in podcast form, we're discussing GTT Radio, available at youtube.com/GameThatTune, our 24/7 radio service.
Yeah, check it out. Thank you to our over 1,000 subscribers. But yeah, man, no, this game looks cool. I like anthropomorphized animals. And so what's the action of the game? It's, you slash it up. It's an RPG. What do you got?
Lots of yiffing.
It's God damn it! I was hoping we could get through it without that. It is it's a hack and slash game, but there are RPG elements. Like you do level up your character and you can strengthen yourself. And what's cool is Fidget, your little magical sprite, has a magic attack that you can command, and it starts off super, super like pitiful, but you can level it up. And then Dust has an ability. I think you activate it with like the strong attack where he kind of spins the sword around. And you can use that in combination with the magic attack to make a bigger, like, she shoots out a couple magic projectiles. Your sword spinning sucks it up and shoots out like hundreds of them. So as you level it up, like you can clear the screen just by using this attack combo. So it's very much action-oriented, hack and slash combo based. So if you like action games or Metroidvanias, I definitely recommend checking it out. If you like really strong stories and narratives in your games, probably not the best game in the world, but it's a damn fun game to play.
Yeah, dude, sounds cool. I like knowing about it because I had never fucking heard of this until literally this moment. So, fun new indie game that's from Xbox Live days, but it's now on the Switch. I might have to check that out because
I think it's like $15 on Switch. Like it's
too much.
It's well worth the price of admission. It's a fun as hell game.
No, I think I need to look into it because slash 'em up Castlevania stuff or Metroidvania stuff with cute anime characters in Raiden hats. Like, yeah, that sounds pretty good, man.
And I'm telling you, man, like the animation is fluid, it's gorgeous, and that one attack where you just hook them with your sword and slam them to the ground, it's so goddamn satisfying.
Yeah, dude. So cool. Great game, cool music. And if Johnny's done Googling Rule 34 Fidget from Dust, I think it's time to move on to the final game of the night.
Game 5.
Don't do it, Johnny.
All right, so this game, it starts off you can only use one squad of mechs, but you can collect coins by doing achievements, and you can unlock up to 9 squads of mechs. So, how are you guys feeling?
I mean, considering I'm not on the board yet,
Okay. John says 9 squads of mechs. Incorrect. Johnny had, I think, some question marks.
Yeah.
And David is correct with Into the Breach. Sweet. So I'm assuming no one else has played this game.
No.
Safe bet. Yeah.
This game
is that the Paul Walker movie from a long time ago where he's like a diver and he's going after like a shipwreck with drugs in it?
No, this is way better.
Okay, good. Yeah, because that movie sucked.
Yeah. Paul Walker is not in this game.
Sadly.
Unfortunately. I'm not sure what he could have added to it, but yeah. But Into the Breach, it is it's a fun little game by the people who made FTL.
That explains that soundtrack.
Yeah. And so basically what it is, it's a game where it's far in the future and giant bugs are attacking the Earth. And there are like these 4 like island nations, and each one has like a different theme. Like there's the regular one with like, green forest and stuff. Then there's like the ice one, and there's the desert one, and then there's one that has a bunch of like acid and stuff. And so, yeah, it's weird. And
I'm
so,
sorry. Did I mishear that? Was that asses and stuff?
no, no, acid.
Oh, I really thought you said asses and stuff and just kind of moved on past it. I'm like, wait, hold on. Run it back.
It's like, wait, there's a mech game with asses? Suddenly, you had my interest. Now you have my attention.
Gotta battle your mech squad into a bunch of asses. We have really gotten off on these terrible sex tangents tonight, and I love it.
Now we're going back into the breach.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so that's the breach.
Yeah.
Now I'm just imagining like a squad of mechs with like giant exposed asses.
Yeah, you just
just imagining
Power
mechs
Rangers, but the Megazord is an ass.
See, yeah, I was thinking mechs with great big mouths, and they just have to eat the whole ass. Anyway, so that's not what this is. So it's not asses, it's acid.
Yeah.
Whole bunch of acid.
And so basically these giant bugs are attacking, and each stage you're going
save the asses.
Yeah, you have like 5 turns to basically survive, and you can there's like many objectives to do in each level, and you have to protect the civilians and their buildings because they power your mechs. So if you lose too many buildings, then game over. And it's more of like because it plays like a strategy game, like a strategy RPG, but it's more of a puzzle game because there's a lot of like moving the bugs around. Like rather than just killing them straight up, there's like move them around, or you can like push them off cliffs and stuff, or you can stand over where they're going to spawn next. Or sometimes you have to make a decision like, well, maybe that one bug is going to hit that one building, but I can stop these other bugs from hitting other buildings and stuff. So there's a little bit of a lot of, I don't know, it's very puzzly. And there are different mechs, like the different squads do different things. Like, one of them is about like freezing the enemy and stuff. There's one that uses acid attacks. There's one that they're all fireproof and they use fire and stuff. And they do different things like fire, burns them, but it also burns the land. So like if the enemies get into the land, it burns them. And so you can plan your attacks like that. There's some like mechs that don't even do damage. They just like will switch places with other mechs or other bugs, and as you progress through the islands, you can upgrade your mech with different weapons, or it's kind of like if you've played FTL, how you can upgrade your ship. It's very similar to that. And you can beat the game. You can, after you finish 2 islands, you can go ahead and go to the final stage, or you can like try to make it harder and do 3 islands and finish it, or then do 4 islands and finish it. But it's I will say, if you want to check this game out, play on easy, because normal is a kick to the balls. Like I couldn't do shit on normal. Easy, I'm like, hey, this game's super fun.
Right. Any penalty for playing on easy?
No. You still unlock the other mechs and stuff with the coins. It's just, do you want to be annoyed the entire time and frustrated, or do you want to have a little bit of fun?
Right.
Like it's still challenging on easy too. Like,
yeah.
So
I think it just speaks to a difference in philosophy with regard to games, Jesse. Some people like to have fun. Some people like to be annoyed and frustrated.
Yeah.
It's geez, maybe it's just not your cup of tea playing games not for fun. But the game looks cool. I like, it's. I didn't realize it was like kind of, I don't know, cute. Like it's like a small grid thing, and it's just little enemies on it. And it's like, yeah, these are cool sprite works, and it's it looks cool.
Yeah, it's very it's cool when the level starts, like little word balloons will pop up on the buildings, and depending on, like, say you're using like the rift walkers, you'll be like, hey Dad, the rift walkers are out there, we're saved, and it kind of makes the world feel a little more alive, and although at times it does feel very, very grim. Like if you're fucking up, those bugs will fuck your day over, and you're just it gets dark.
Yeah, I like it. Well, cool, man. Yeah. And so I'm guessing this also just came out on Switch, didn't it?
I think late last year, it was a lot of people were talking, not last year, but the year before. No, maybe it was last year, but a lot of people were talking about it in the running for Game of the Year. So
Cool.
Yeah, I think it was 2017. Yeah, there you go.
Well, nobody told me.
Yeah,
but it looks cool, man. I like it. I never dabbled with FTL or anything like that. I feel like I should play these at some point because they, seems like a company that makes cool games, and I like those soundtracks, man. It's
very good.
Yeah, it's good. Good shit. But yeah, shit, man. Anything else on Into the Breach, or are we headed into the calculating computer? Jesse, anything else?
Just another thing that's cool is there's once you unlock a few of the squads, you can do a customized squad, so you can like pick and choose the mechs you want. You could just do like 3 of one mech, which could be either super difficult or really easy depending on which mech you choose. And so there are like a lot of replayability to the game. I've spent way too much time playing it on Switch because it's just a great game it's definitely a great game to play while you're watching stuff on TV too, because there's not like a whole ton of story. You're just trying to make sure bugs don't kill. It's like Starship Troopers with mechs,
Yeah. So would you say, Jesse, that this game is perfect for Switch?
Oh, it is perfect as fuck for Switch.
Man, we need a perfect for Switch sound, like just some really big, dumb, obvious sound. Like, hey, that's the one. So the game, is it fun? It's perfect for Switch. Awesome, man, great pick. And
sorry, I have that soundboard.
Johnny, I think
it's hard for me to.
I think it's time for us to head to the calculating computer.
Calculating computer activated.
I'm just trying to say that Yoshi's Cookie is pretty good and you match cookies. Can I say that? Can I? No? Like, fuck, man.
Scoring complete. This game's winner is John Harrington.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I cannot believe that I won an indie game episode, but hey, here we are.
It was a tie between you and Jesse. And John, you had the nerve to share Rule 34 links in our Discord tonight. Put you over the edge.
Okay, yeah. So I awakened something inside Johnny, and that gave me the win.
God,
which we really need to clarify right now. The winner is based on courage, not who shares the most porn. Please don't keep posting porn in our Discord chat.
I'm realizing now, in hindsight, I really don't want to encourage Rule 34 links in our Discord. So
it's only when it's relevant to the game being discussed. So only spam us with Rule 34 links while we're doing the live show, please and thank you.
Just because you got an erection, Johnny, doesn't mean you need to give John extra points.
I mean, it's cool, man.
Really, this just means that John won because there is a lacking of Rule 34 of mechs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure you can find it.
Google Rule 34 Into the Breach, and he didn't find a forest of asses ready to be eaten by a mech, and he was a victim of his own expectations.
I think we just
anyway, I take it back. Episode title: Forest of Asses.
Oh, it's right there. So anyway, my theme for the next episode.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's games with a forest of asses. No. So it's February, and I always try and think of timely and fantastic themes. So next week it's going to be Valentine's Day, and I'm not doing anything to celebrate that. So it's also next week. It's going to be President's Day. It's going to be Washington's birthday. It's going to be Lincoln's birthday. They used to be 2 separate holidays, but now they're not. So I was thinking, games with the president in them, and then that led my brain into the correct answer. The category next week will be games that take place in America. The Union is strong. And the state of Game That Tune is fantastic. We're going to have American games. That is to say, not games made by Americans, but games taking place in America. So, I think we're going to have some fun games on next week's episode. And thank you all so much for listening tonight. We really appreciate everybody that watched along live with us. We're live every Wednesday night at twitch.tv/GameThatTune, youtube.com/GameThatTune, facebook.com/GameThatTune. We're live at 9 p.m.-ish on Wednesday nights, and we appreciate you joining with us. A lot of great chatter in the chat room. Head to GameThatTune.com and find our Discord link and join us there. We love chatting with you guys. Thanks to everybody listening in podcast form. We come out on Wednesdays in podcast form and iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. We are now on Spotify, which apparently has podcasts, and they're making a big push. As part of that, they acquired Gimlet and they acquired Game That Tune. So, it's going to be good.
And Gimlet in the same sentence.
It's the same thing, right?
What is Gimlet?
Spotify's making
Spotify both start with G. I mean, basically the same, really.
I've never heard of that other one.
Exactly. I know our podcast, but what about this other media conglomerate? But yeah, so we're on Spotify. So check us out.
It's only the best podcast ever.
Hey, John, don't promote other podcasts while I'm doing our promos. Just pro tips, Slick. But yeah, check out. Thanks to everybody that checks out patreon.com/GameThatTune. We've got awesome exclusives there. We've got GTT Gems. We've got Jesse's Covered Up series. We do mixtapes from time to time. We do our live movie commentaries and then release them for you to listen to. We've got a live movie commentary taking place Thursday, February the 7th. That's tomorrow if you're listening right now, but in podcast form, it already happened. It's a live recording of the Mortal Kombat movie commentary. Easily candidate for best video game movie of all time so far. And I think it's going to be a blast. So join us for that. Or if you're listening in podcast form, check out patreon.com/GameThatTune. Throw us a couple of bucks and listen to that fantastic commentary while you watch a fantastic video game movie classic. Special thanks to our Patreon superfan tier producers, Alex Messenger, Lance Revere, and Damian Beckles. You guys are all fantastic. We appreciate the support. And yeah, thank you for our request tonight. That one came to us in multiple ways. Apparently, Pyre is in demand. It came to us. It was in our request queue because of Emily on Facebook. It was in our Discord because of Dire Crow. But you can also send us a request via email, gamethattune@gmail.com. You can hit us up on Twitter at GameThatTune, or you can find us there individually. I'm there at JGangsta187. You can find John Regan on Twitter at
JP Regan JR.
You can find Jesse Moore on Twitter at
Sega_legend.
And you can find David Fleming on Twitter at
DFD Fleming.
Yes. So, we're going home with some tunes that tie into my theme for next week. It's a game that takes place arguably in America, some version of it. It's a fantastic video game music classic from Daytona, USA. I don't remember the name of it, but, Johnny, let's just have that rolling start, baby. Peace out, everybody.
Roaring Star!
That's disappointing, John. Not all 8 minutes. Bastion is copyright 2011 Supergiant Games. Snake Pass is copyright 2017 Sumo Digital. Pyre is copyright 2017 Supergiant Games. Dust: An Elysian Tale is copyright 2012 Humble Hearts. Into the Breach is copyright 2018 Subset Games.